that a lot of us don't want to discuss. There's an addiction that many of us high achievers, over, zealous, hardworking, ambitious women, and especially us educators that we have. Do you know what it is? You know what it is. You might not want to say it, but you absolutely know what it is. That addiction is overthinking. And let me share this real personal story with you that happened to me just this morning. And I'm so happy that I realized that I was in the process of it. So I have a big opportunity that's available to me, and there is a proposal that's due for it tomorrow. I've known about this. Today is Thursday. I've known about this since Sunday. And so when the opportunity was presented to me, I was super excited. I was like, yes, I got this. This is right in my wheelhouse. Let's go. I was ready. And then I began to think about, what is it that I need to do? How do I need to present the proposal? What needs to go into the proposal? How am I going to stand out? What is the capabilities that I'm going to show? How am I going to show capacity to do what it is that they are requesting to be done? So all of these things are running through my head. So I'm thinking. And on Sunday, I'm like, okay, cool. I got a plan of action. So then Monday comes, I read back over the requirements to make sure that I'm good. And then I read through the evaluation and I come into a snag. Well, there were 10 or 12 requirements and I met 11 of the 12. So then I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't do it. You hear what I'm doing, right? I'm talking myself out of it, because on Sunday I was ready to go, but now I'm talking myself out of it. So I'm talking myself out of it. I'm saying, oh, but what if this is a requirement and I don't have it, they won't consider me, and I'm just going to waste a lot of time completing this proposal and submitting it. So then I get to thinking about, okay, well, let me see if I can meet the requirement. Let me find out if I can get what it is they're requesting, or if I can find someone who has what it is they're requesting. So then I go through my Rolodex trying to find people and all of these things, right? I hope you see what's happening here. And so I do that all day Monday. All day Monday, I'm thinking about this. So then Tuesday comes. Tuesday comes. Now, keep in mind, I done thought about this all night while I'm sleeping. I've been thinking about this all during the day. It's a snowstorm here. And so I've been at home. It had plenty of time to do whatever I need to do, didn't need to leave for anything. Okay, tell me if this resonates with you. If this is resonating with anybody, please put it in the chat, put it in the comments. So Wednesday come. Now, keep in mind, I'm thinking, I've laid this out, and I've even thought about why I am the best one for this opportunity, why I am the best one to complete this round of professional development. When I say it's right in my wheelhouse, baby, I done this work backwards and forwards, frontwards and backwards. And I got people in my network who can support me in the work. I know I got this, right? This is what I did. This is how I turned my school around. And so I know that I can do this work. And so on Wednesday, I'm still going back and forth trying to figure out how I can overcome this obstacle that's been put in front of me. And so then I realized, okay, this is due on the 10th. Today is the 8th. Either you're doing it or you're not. So my mind is steady thinking. And when I say I've thought through all of the portions of the proposal, I've thought about my everything that you can think of. I've thought about it 10 times. Okay. I've written this whole thing in my head. So then I realized that, well, if I do all this work and I don't meet the requirement, that's just work done for nothing. So then my mind keeps thinking, and my mind says, well, at least if you do it and submit, they'll see that you're high quality, and maybe they'll keep you in mind for another opportunity. So something just said, and this is a habit or a trick that I learned a long time ago, since I've been in business. So I've been in business for 8 years. And so I said, let me get another head into this. So I text one of my friends, and I text the dilemma to my friend, and this is a business partner. And so she responded back, may I call you? And I was like, absolutely. Y'all, I kid you not. I was in the tub. So it was 1 o'clock in the day. I was taking a bath because I was trying to, Musa. And hey, if you with me live, give me a hey, what's up? What's going on? If you're catching this in the replay, give me a hashtag replay. I will really appreciate the comments on the video so that it can move to other people. But listen up here. So as I am, I'm in the tub, and so she sends me this text, and like I'm like, okay, I gotta take this call. So I'm like, absolutely. Do I say I'm in the tub? I can't talk right now. No. She said she's available. She said, may I call you? Absolutely. So she calls me, and so I explained the dilemma to her. She listens, and then she says to me, "So is the proposal done?" And I was like, no, it's not done. And so she says, what's stopping you from doing the proposal? So I explained to her that there's a piece that I'm missing that I don't have. And it's a part of the evaluation process. It's a part of the requirement. And so she stopped. She said, wait, this opportunity was brought to you. Why are you worried about that? They wouldn't have brought it to you if they didn't know that you were capable of the work. That requirement is for the other people. That's not for you. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so this is what brings me to today. Okay, this is what brings me to today. I wanted to share this experience because the proposal is still due tomorrow. Okay, but I've been thinking about this for days, had the entire thing outlined in my head, and yet I hadn't taken action. And so I want to talk to you about this addiction that we have to overthinking. And I'm constantly working on my addiction to overthinking. Let me define for you what addiction is. It's an inability to stop a behavior that offers temporary satisfaction, but ultimately holds you back. Okay. That's right. This is what we gonna call the tub conversation. Baby, that tub conversation got me right. Okay. So it's an inability to stop a behavior that offers a temporary satisfaction, but it ultimately holds you back. Think about any addiction, a drug addiction, an alcohol addiction, a tobacco addiction, a shopping addiction, whatever the addiction is. Think about it. It provides temporary satisfaction, but it ultimately holds you back. And then we go into this cycle of overthinking because some of y'all think, oh, I don't have any addiction. Everybody has an addiction. There's not a person on the face of the earth who doesn't have an addiction. It's just whether or not you're aware of it. And I prefer to be aware of the things that I struggle with so I can work to, put some barriers up or some boundaries and try to move into the next level of myself. So this cycle of overthinking, y'all, I swear to you, it feels like productivity because your mind is working. You couldn't tell me that I was not working. Hey, Danette. Hey, good morning. Good morning. You cannot tell me that I was not working. I was writing that whole proposal in my head, but it tricks you into believing that you're preparing or you're planning, but in reality, you're stuck. Y'all stop it now. That's a bar right there. That's a bar. That's for somebody. I was listening to Tabitha Brown this morning, and old Tab is what brought me to this computer because I said that I struggled with, somebody else is struggling with it right now. Let me come and get in this word. It tricks you into believing that you're preparing or that you're planning, but in reality, you are stuck. See, I didn't even realize I was stuck until I got on that phone. And then when I got on that phone and she said, well, why haven't you done it? And I was like, because I was trying to figure this out. And she was like, no, because you have 9 parts of it figured out. It's just one part that you don't have figured out. Why is it not done? And you see, it offers this false sense of control. This is the part that we don't want to talk about, especially as high achievers, especially as overachievers, especially as people who have had success in our lives. This is the quiet part that we want to keep in our head and that we don't want to let out. Let me give you some of the traits of addiction. Addiction is when, so it can sometimes look like when you're craving certainty and control. How many of us can relate to that? And most times we see it in the form of avoidance of discomfort or the fear of failure or rejection. So think about when you, now don't sit and act like you don't have a drug addict in your family. Why is that person addicted to drugs? There was something that happened that created immense discomfort or pain or suffering, and they went to a drug to help get them through. That's what we do. Instead of us going to a drug, we go to our minds and we stay trapped in our minds thinking over and over and over. But the thing is, it's only temporary relief. See, thinking feels good, but it doesn't solve anything. If it was all about thinking with all these smart people, all these educators who make the world go round, we'd all be doing the thing that we love to do, making the money we like to make and living the life that we've dreamed of, if thinking were the answer. But it's not about thinking. A lot of us have good thoughts. A lot of us have good thoughts, but we're not doing the things that need to be done. We don't want to step out of our comfort zone, and we are addicted to overthinking. We're addicted. That's right. Danette says, no excuse, get it done. And that's really the stance that you have to take, but you can't take that stance if you don't know that you're stuck in this cycle. Like people who procrastinate initially don't know they're procrastinating because they think that it's productive. It's temporary relief. They are certain that they are moving forward or have something else to do, and all of these things are taking over, and they just don't have the time. I was going to do it, but this happened, because they're not aware that they're stuck. And so in order to get to this place of understanding that that overthinking is an addiction, we got to be aware of it. So let me give you a few examples of what overthinking looks like in our lives today, because sometimes we confuse what it looks like. How many of you all have replayed conversations or decisions in your mind endlessly? You got into an argument, you done played it over 26 times. You had to do a speech, you gave the speech, you messed up, or you said something or didn't say something, and you replayed that speech in your head 1,000 times of what you woulda, coulda, shoulda done. You have a conversation with somebody and you replay that conversation 1,000 times in your head. Or maybe it looks like over researching every detail instead of just starting the project. Over researching every detail, every detail. You got notebooks, you got journals, you got stuff tagged, you got pictures, you got electronic folders, paper folders, you got it all. That's overthinking, y'all. What about this one? Wait a minute. What about this one? Because some people don't realize that this is overthinking. Some people don't realize it. So work with me. Constantly seeking advice or approval before taking action. You got to check with so and so. I'm gonna see what she thinks. I'm gonna run this past so and so. I just want to get your opinion on this. What about it? Is this resonating with anybody? Can anybody identify their overthinking while I'm talking about this? What about waiting for the perfect timing or the perfect plan to start? Oh, well, we I gotta wait because my son go into this program and I gotta take him every evening. Oh, my daughter is in dance class, and so every Tuesday and Thursday I'm at dance, and then I volunteer for the church on Saturday. So I'm waiting on the perfect time. Soon as this is over, I'm gonna get started on it. Mm. Or you're thinking through all of the what ifs. What if it doesn't work? What if it fails? What if don't nobody buy? What if I don't have anybody to sell to? What if they don't like me? What if they talk about me behind my back? You're always thinking about the worst case scenarios instead of just making the move. I want you to know, if you can identify with this, Danette said, girl, teach. I want you to know, if you can identify with this, though this is holding us back, because it is simply time wasted. We're wasting days, weeks, and months just thinking that could be used for taking actions and steps. Think about, I could have used Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to get this done. Instead, I'm here today on Thursday. I will be up all night completing this proposal, getting it designed, and submitting it, when I could have been able to do a third of it on Monday, a third of it on Tuesday, and finish it up on Wednesday, review it, make any fine tweaks on Thursday, and submit early Friday morning. But instead, I wasted days overthinking. These are also missed opportunities. While you overthink, other people are taking the action and moving ahead. And let's not even talk about the mental exhaustion. It drains your energy and it leaves you way less motivated to take real action. And so I just want to give you a couple of steps to overcome this overthinking. What she say? She said, me for years, Dr. D, and whole closet of dunk. I gave it to God and it's coming together. It's fear now I'm fighting. Right. And the cure to fear is action, Cynthia, is action. And a lot of times we never get to the point, we never get to the place of curing the fear because the fear keeps us stuck. But it really, truly, 100%, I swear to you, the cure to fear is action. Once you start taking the action, taking the steps, the next step will unfold for you. But as long as you are, just waiting and only hoping, it's not going to open up. So let me give you a couple of steps of how I overcome overthinking. First of all, step one, you got to recognize it. You got to acknowledge when you're stuck in a cycle and ask yourself, am I thinking or am I doing? See, I knew that something was not right, which is why I made the call. But I made the call to a particular person who will not allow you to stay stuck, who will not let you sleep on yourself, who will not let you play small and show up less than. That's why I called her. See, I could have called my other friend who would have said, well, girl, yeah, you probably shouldn't apply to that because you probably not going to get it anyway. And that's just going to be wasted time. So you got to know what, first of all, I recognize that I think something going on here. I'm in a cycle. This gonna be due on Friday. I haven't even started. Let me do something. I knew I needed to do something, but I didn't know what I needed to do. And so I called someone who could move me to the next level. And I hadn't even thought to myself if I was overthinking it, but I knew I was stuck. So, step two, you got to shift your perspective. You got to remind yourself that there are actions that you need to take and not thinking. Now, I did say to myself, you've been thinking about this for 3 days. You got this whole thing done in your head, but there is nothing on paper. Just go in there and get it done on paper. But I'm going to tell y'all what happened this morning if you're hanging there with me. And you have to remind yourself that perfection is not required to begin. Is not required to begin. Step number three. Step number three, y'all. Take a small step. Write if it's you write a sentence. Make one call. Take one small step. Take one small step because once you build the momentum, you'll be able to focus on the progress. Okay, so just take one small step. And then step number four, I had to do this morning. I had to do this morning. Give yourself a time limit to think and then force yourself to take action. So I was still thinking this morning, y'all. I was still thinking about this same proposal this morning, but I was thinking about how, are you going to have enough time? Are you going to be able to get it in? Is it going to look the way you normally want it to look, professionally designed, representing your company the way you want it to represent your company? And this is what I said. I said, I said to my mind, I said, we taking 5 minutes. I was in the bed. I was looking at the news because we have weather expected again tomorrow. And so I was in the bed and I said, okay, I'm gonna give myself 5 minutes. I'm gonna think about this for 5 more minutes. And then I'm getting up and I'm getting started on this proposal. So 5 minutes went by and then I said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and feet to the ground, got up and came in here and got started. So give yourself a time limit to think about this. And then step five, you got to reflect on results. So you got to celebrate the clarity and the progress and the progress that you gained from taking action. I feel better already that I'm up, I'm at the computer, I'm ready to go, and I know what I need to write. I have support and I can make it happen. So I want us all to dream big and go after big things and do the things that we want to do. Do you have a big goal for 2025? Is there something that you've been overthinking about? Can you put it in the comments? If so, what's one thing you've been overthinking that you can take action on today? Tell me that. What step can you take right now to break free from this overthinking cycle? You see, this year has to be about doing and not just thinking. It has to be about doing. And even with the fear, we got to move forward and you got to have some steps in place. And so I hope that you were able to see how, even through me, I've been doing this for 8 years. Honey, I done worked almost 100 contracts in these 8 years. I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars working these contracts. I've submitted way more proposals. Oh my goodness, we're not going to talk about how many proposals I've submitted. And here I am still in this process. This is why you have to constantly develop yourself. You have to constantly be ready and willing to acknowledge the parts that you need to continue to work on. This is about not just personal development, I'm sorry, not just professional development, but personal development. And so, just like you have to continue to develop yourself, I am committed to developing myself to be the best me that I can be each day. Each day, my goal is just to be a better version than I was the day before, just a better version. And so when I sat there this morning, even after having had the conversation, still didn't start on it last night like I could have, like I should have. This morning, when I woke up, those invasive thoughts came in. Oh, well, you're not going to have enough time. Well, now you've waited too late. And so you may as well let that go. Oh, well, now, you done took too long. You're not, what if your designer is not able to get it done? All of these invasive thoughts came in. And I had to just go ahead and shut them down. Gave myself 5 minutes to continue to think about that. And then I actually set a timer on my phone. And when that timer went off, I said 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and feet to the ground, up, and I got moving. I went and got me a cup of coffee, got that coffee in, and then I took some deep breaths, got myself going this morning, and I'm ready. I already done thought about it. I've thought about it for 3 days now. I know what needs to go into the proposal, but you know what I haven't done? I haven't done it. I haven't sat to the computer and put the words on paper. And so that's what I'm doing this morning. So that's what I'll be doing this morning and this afternoon and this evening to get this proposal to where I know that I can get it. Will it be perfect? No, it will not be perfect. Will it be my best work yet? No, it will not be my best work yet. But will I have given this opportunity to somebody else because of my own overthinking? No, I will not. I will follow through. I will do the things that need to be done. I am committed to me. I believe in me. I know that my work is good. I know that I get results. And I know that people are looking for me. And they are looking for you too. That's why the phone rang. And that's why folks are trying to get me to do the things that they're trying to get me to do. But we allow our brain, our thinking, to stop us in the process. But I want you to know you're in control of your brain. Your brain is not in control of you. Sometimes we have to stop the chatter, not sometimes, all the time. Stop the chatter in our head. Stop that thinking. Stop that voice that is working in your head. If you don't think you can stop it, honey, go and get Michael A. Singer's book, The Untethered Soul. And he will walk you through step by step of how to stop the thinking and the voice that's in your head. It's real. And a lot of us don't want to acknowledge that either. But I'm here to tell you there are opportunities that are available for you. You can make more money in this opportunity, and let me just tell y'all this. So when I spoke to the person, I gave the amount that I was thinking of putting on the proposal. The amount that I was putting on the proposal was $54,000. And this is a multi-year, you have to come back and retrain the new staff. Awesome. I love these. Okay. And so I said, yeah, that, just thinking off the top of my head, that's probably going to be about $55,000 somewhere in there, just right there. The person said, you might need to up that just a little bit. You can add a little bit on to that because that would be coming in a little bit low than what I'm seeing that's coming in. And in all of my overthinking, I'm not thinking about the fact that this information is being shared with me to give me a better opportunity to win, not to, they even in the rest of the conversation went on to tell me what was the highest point that had been seen. So don't go to the highest is what was being said. Don't do the highest, but you also don't want to be the lowest because you can come in the middle and no questions will be asked. And here I am tripping off of one requirement that I don't have. And they're essentially telling me this is a way to help you to win. But all of the overthinking, my mind wasn't even thinking about that until I made the phone call to my business bestie. And I was recapping the conversation with my business bestie. And she was like, wait, are you hearing yourself? And I'm like, no, I'm not hearing myself because I'm busy thinking and trying to talk. You can't hear yourself when you're thinking and trying to talk. So I want you to know, like, the steps I'm sharing with you are the things that I did. And I just want the best for you. 2025 is our year. This is going to be the most amazing year ever. You get what you believe you can have. You get it. But we're going to have to get out of our own way. We're going to have to stop playing small. We're going to have to believe for more, greater, bigger, better. And we're going to have to believe and know that we are worthy of it. It doesn't matter who's in presidency. Schools are still going to need support. New teachers are still going to need help. Professional development is still going to need to happen. They're not ending schools. They're not ending the school system. These are all things that we've overthought in our heads. What we need to do is position ourselves, work on ourselves, have our packages ready, know what it is that we offer, and pitch our services. Nobody can come for you if they don't know where you're at. They can't ask you to work. They can't send you anything. They can't refer you out. They can't help you out. Nobody can do that if they think that you're in the school only teaching every day. So we got to be willing to pitch our services. I hope this has been helpful for you all because it was definitely helpful for me. When I watched Tabitha Brown this morning, and she was talking about the fires in Los Angeles, and definitely prayers out to the residents of Los Angeles. That is absolutely devastating. We actually have a staff member who lives in Los Angeles, and that is just horrible. And as I'm speaking, I got a friend who lives there. I need to check on her as well. Sister Arlena is in Los Angeles, has a home there. So, as I was listening to Tabitha Brown, that's what brought this on, as she was talking about how she is renewing and on a raw fast this month, for the first 10 days of the month, because she needs to get clear. And I was like, oh, I need to do that. And it just led to this. Okay, trust me, it just led to this. So I hope this helps. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Talk to y'all later.